Yo, it's the Sporting Tribune in Odyssey Sports. The week of wrestling continues, and it's fitting because we're joined by Eddie Kingston. This week, we hit some success on the YouTube. We hit over 1 million views this month. And I need to tell you, Eddie, as we start this, because the first time we talked was our first time ever. And I tried to give you some flowers because that's what we do with everyone. But we need to give you some more flowers because without that interview, that kind of put a lot of eyeballs on what we were doing. So much appreciated, my G.
Nah. Don't give me no flowers for that. That's the point of doing it, man. If I can help people, man, good. I don't care, man.
Nah, it's incredible.
People help me out without wanting to thank you. So same thing with me. I don't need a thank you, man. Just do your thing.
No, of course. And of course, Ring of Honor Supercard coming this Friday. You can go check that out in Honor Club. Plus, everyone in Vegas, the summer kicks off, Double or Nothing. Tickets already on sale. MGM Grand Garden Arena. Be sure to be there. And we can't wait to see you in person. Eddie, my son just walked in. He might walk in on the interview. But before we get to the wrestling, we need to go over some things. First and foremost, I didn't get to ask you, how do you feel about Big L?
And then I'm trying to put it right. I wish there was more work of his because I love what he has out now. You know what I mean? What he had out. But the way people talk about him, I'm like, yeah, I wish he had more so I could be like, yeah, and point to it. If you're not a real hip hop head, you're not going to understand it. You know what I mean? Understand how great he is.
Well, look, I had no business finding out Big L on the internet as an 8-year-old kid in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But he on one of his freestyles where he says, and it's not even like a bar, it's half a bar. All he says is, I'm from New York and I was never a fan of the Knicks. I was like, bro, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because you're from New York and you don't even care about these dudes.
It was cold. It was cold, man. I remember that. I remember that line. Everybody kind of looked. And then I remember he hit another verse and everyone was like, oh, all right.
No, bro,
he's the only guy that's allowed to do that. You know what I mean?
His raps felt like a dunk attempt, like a Vince Carter dunk attempt on the dunk
every
contest.
time.
And I'm like, the nastiest thing I've ever seen. Speaking of that, hip hop too, being here in Vegas, are you going to try to make it to this Wu-Tang residency?
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I? Of course. Come on, man.
And how do you feel about this? Because you post a lot of old school hip hop, right? And currently, we got the behemoths going at each other with Kendrick and J. Cole and Drake. How do you feel about this?
I'm not a Drake guy. Never really was. I appreciate his music. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate what he does. But if you're like, yo, I got Kendrick and J. Cole or Drake to listen to, I'm going to pick Kendrick and J. Cole.
Now you got to pick between them.
Oh, to me, it's J. Cole. J. Cole reminds me of Nas. And Nas was my man. Yeah. Look, don't get it twisted. It's not like it's like by a long shot.
I got you. I made you pick. I made you pick.
It's like it's right there. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it was, I don't know. I just like J. Cole's flow a little bit more. But I respect Kendrick and love Kendrick's songs, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. I just love Kendrick. Don't give a F about nobody. And he
don't. And that's the thing that I love about him more is that energy. You know what I mean? That's what I respect more about him than anything else.
And then we did talk about Madden the first time we talked. I need to know, are you hyped for the return of NCAA football? But New York, you guys, really?
Yeah, no, bro. We all played NCAA football, man, back in the day. That game was amazing because that was the football game before Madden came out that year. So if you wanted to see how Madden kind of looked like, this is before the internet, folks. What Madden was going to kind of look like, you either had to get the magazines, which none of us got because it was expensive to get, or you would get the NCAA football and play it at a friend's house and be like, oh, Madden's going to look something like this. You would play it and be like, yo, this is great. Wishbone offense, dynasty mode, bro. You know what I mean? Create your own school and come on. I think everyone in my neighborhood made a Manhattan College with a football team. You know what I mean?
See, that's what I was going to say, because I just assumed, I do not see a kid from New York buying NCAA football and being like, dynasty mode with Rutgers, let's go.
Nah, we never see. When I grew up, it's before cable and whatnot, right? Before ESPN and all that went crazy, and you would see all the teams. On ABC and CBS, you would only see Big Ten football, which at the time was like Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan. And then you would get like SEC football on CBS, which I think they still do. So you would get like the Bamas and the Auburns and all that.
Florida
But
and all
NBC still this day, NBC does Notre Dame every week. So that's all. So a lot of us in New York grew up Notre Dame fans because that's what we saw every week consistently. ABC would have maybe Penn State versus Illinois. And then the next week it would be Ohio State versus Indiana or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But every week it was Notre Dame on NBC and still is to this day. So a lot of us, and then me being half Irish, I had no choice. The Irish side of my family was like, you're a Notre Dame fan, a Giant fan, a Knicks fan, and a Yankee fan. That's it. Oh, but I think I remember back in the day, but I think Joe Montana's really good. Yeah, he was good when he played for Notre Dame. Not now. He's on San Francisco. Okay. I like Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire. Yeah, that's fine, but they're not Yankees. You can like them, but not the it's crazy. You don't root for them when they play the Yankees.
No, I love it because
Rangers too, but I fell out of hockey here and there. I'm on and off with hockey. There's some years I'm on, some years I'm off.
I feel it. Well, you mentioned, the team being on one station for the whole country. It's like TBS with the Braves back in the day.
Yeah.
You get to see 50 Braves games every summer for no reason. And you're like, I like Andrew Jones is cool. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of New Yorkers who are actually Braves fans that I've ran into a lot of Braves fans growing up. Because when cable was in every house, then we had TNT and TBS, but TBS always, especially after Saturday nights, WCW Saturday nights, there would be the game, or the game would be on before WCW Saturday night, or WCW Main Event, which was their Sunday show. So you had to watch. If you wasn't watching the game, you were gonna watch it anyway till the end, so you can watch.
Wait for it to finish.
Yeah. So of course you started becoming a fan of all those guys.
I'm gonna try to do this interview without asking you a single wrestling question. No, I'm just kidding. This is amazing. We can talk about TBS all day.
All day. Oh, it has stuff to do with wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll get to the wrestling. So I'll ask you this. I want to talk to you about moments you cherish because it was cool. Obviously, Revolution was massive. Absolutely phenomenal. You and Danielson, like that was incredible. And obviously the night was revolving around Sting. And afterwards, the week following on social media, Sting posted a lot of clips and he showed backstage. It wasn't, you guys weren't mic'd up, but you saw this moment.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
It wasn't like mic'd up, but it was caught on camera. So if you feel comfortable enough, like you don't have to give me specifics on what was said, but what did that moment mean to you?
No, I just, like you said, giving flowers. I just wanted Sting to know what he did for me personally, and then in turn, what he did for pro wrestling. I love pro wrestling, man. I don't care what company you are. Never did. You know what I mean? Even when I was a fan. Yeah, I loved DCW, but I also loved New Japan, All Japan, WWE, WCW, FM. I loved everything because it was pro wrestling. I do get the tribalism. I get it because, I was like that too at one point, But I never wished it. Yeah, but I never wanted any place to shut down. So if anybody does anything good for pro wrestling, I'm a fan of, And that's why I tell fans now, like, if you're a fan of pro wrestling, I'm a fan of you, for real. You can hate me, you can hate AEW, but you're still a fan of pro wrestling because you love WWE. You're still a fan of wrestling. You're still supporting wrestling. So I got love for you. Doesn't mean I agree with your opinion, but I still got love for you. You know what I mean? So like all the hate I get, I'm just like, all right, man, cool. But at least you're supporting something. Yeah. At least you're supporting professional wrestling. Because I want that around. When I'm dead and gone, I want pro wrestling to still be around because I love it. It's the only thing I've loved since I was 9 years old was pro wrestling. And that's it. Like I never wanted to hit a home run in Yankee Stadium. I never wanted to score a winning touchdown in the Super Bowl or whatever you want to call it, or the big shot in the big moment. I wanted to be a pro wrestler. So that's why I tell people, man, have all the hate in the world, but as long as you support some type of pro wrestling company, I'm all about it. I got love for you.
And you talk about the love of pro wrestling. I know you've had your disagreements with Okada and things going on with him. But even you look at Deanna, you look at Mercedes, you look at Will, and Listen, point blank period, some of the best wrestlers in the world choosing to go to AEW and stepping in to that humongous, like the amount of talent on the company right now and on the roster is incredible.
Yeah.
For you, like what does that mean to you that someone that's been around for a minute?
I told Will Ospreay, you motivate me. That's right. I said, thank God you're here. Guys like him and Okada motivate me. Because now I got to be better than I was the other day because there's new competition. The goal is still the same, is to be the world champion. I'm the Ring of Honor world champion. I was a Continental Crown champion. I'm the Openweight, New Japan Strong Openweight champion. But the goal always will be to be the, I hate it when they say AEW world champion, because it's not just AEW, it's the world championship. And with the competition coming in, I got to step up or get out the way. You know, and not complain about it either. You know what I mean? It's just is what it is. I can control me. So I got to step up. So I love it. Bring more people in. I don't care. As long as they're better than me and it makes me step my game up, I'm all about it. Don't bring in any clowns that are just going to be there to play wrestler. You know what I mean? I want guys who are going to go in there and fight me. Because I'll be in there with Will. I'll get in there again with Okada. You know what I mean? So I like it, man. Competition is what makes the business thrive. You need competition. If you don't have competition, then you can do whatever you want. And a lot of things you do are going to be shitty because you have no one to fight up against.
And I mean, and you stay the same and you don't evolve and you bring up evolution. I think it's interesting, you know, this Friday. Obviously, people are looking back at the dates with Jay Briscoe 11 years ago calling his shot. And now you are no longer the underdog. No. And you're the king of the underdogs coming into Friday.
Mentally,
so that's what I'm going to ask you. So that's where you're at with this match?
Yeah, mentally, I'm the underdog. No one wants to see me win. You know what I mean? They wanted to see me win when I didn't have it. Now that I have it, they don't want to see me beat Mark. You know what I mean? That's not my fault, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to beat whoever's in front of me. And I'm happy it's Mark, because who better than the guy who was on the first ever Ring of Honor show, managing his brother? Who better than someone 11 years to the date of when his brother won the world championship? Who better to challenge for it? You know what I mean? And I'm not going into this match with like, I hate you, Mark, and oh, I'm going to do this, and we're going to make something up, and you know what I mean? And so we can interest people. Bottom line is we're going to do what Ring of Honor did originally, which was, it was built on competition and pure pro wrestling. It was built on two guys going in there and fighting. And that's what me and Mark are going to do. I've said it, and I'll say it again. We're going to write a love letter in violence to Ring of Honor that day. And that's it. Now, whether you want me to win or lose, that's your prerogative. Rock and roll, just watch it. Buy it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to watch it. I want you to support us. All pro wrestling, yes. All pro wrestling, support it. But, you know, let us eat first. Support us.
Ring of Honor Supercard this Friday. And that's honestly, that's what it should be. How does that make you feel that after all these years that this match is built in that part of the name and the company, that honor, that you get to still continue that with that title? How does that feel?
Oh, it feels amazing because a lot of my mentors, you know, my main mentor held that championship, the Ring of Honor World title, and that was Homicide. Another person, another New Yorker, low-key was the first ever champion. Another New Yorker, Xavier. A guy who, you know, I would watch all the time in Samoa Joe was world champion. And then you have so many more, I can't even name them all because I'll forget someone's name, you know what I mean? You got Jerry Lynn, Christopher Daniels, you know, I can go on and on. I'm just going to pump the brakes there because I'm going to forget somebody and someone's going to get butthurt about it. And I'm going to be like, come on, dog, aren't we grown men? My bad, you know?
The legacy is long. There's a lot of names.
Yeah, it's a long legacy, but I'm happy to carry that legacy. And it means a lot because Ring of Honor is a place I always wanted to be. For a lot of people that don't know, when I broke in, Ring of Honor just started. And that was the place to be, man, because they were different than every other independent promotion at the time. Because they were built off competition in wrestling. So I always wanted to be there, and I was there for a cup of coffee here and there. You know what I mean? I like to say I was there for all the different eras. I was there for the Gabe era. I was there for the HD Net era. I was there for the Sinclair era, and now I'm the world champion in this era. So I've been through them all. Now, did I do good in all of them? Not as good as this. All the other times was I was there for a cup of coffee because I shot myself in the foot, but that was me back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You live and you learn. But Ring of Honor means the world to me.
No, that's incredible. And shout out to the HD Net reference right there.
Yeah, man, I remember those days. Those were good days. I got paid those days while still starving, eating Spam and rice.
Yo, and by the way, you did one of your Instagram posts. The show that you're doing, is it Caesar? What's his name? I don't want to get his name incorrect.
Oh, Caesar. Yeah.
Caesar. That series, it's really cool and getting to see that on Instagram. But one of the things you were talking about, I think you were referencing Roderick Strong and like the physicality and using that to be different than what the world would see.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Next time you're
that was Ring of Honor to its core.
Yeah.
And then all the other independents took that and ran with it because we all wanted to do that. We all, my generation grew up with, the Attitude Era and ECW, but then because of being able to tape trade and buy tapes, we grew up on Japanese style and Lucha Libre, and we decided to all mix it together. We were the first generation to mix it all together. So we were figuring it out. It was not polished. You know what I'm saying? And we were young and dumb and wanted to be different. So we were just beating the piss out of each other. You know what I mean? And just to be different. Many nights where we would just be all bloodied up and bruised and then shake each other's hands and go, all right, man, see you next week. Or, see you Tuesday or whatever. See you at the next show or something. You know what I mean? See you 6 hours from now when we're driving to the next show or I meet you at the car. Yeah. It was definitely, we were... I hate to use the term. Yeah, but forget it. I'll use it. We were pioneers of mixing all the styles together because of what we saw and what we fell in love with. And like I loved ECW and Memphis and FMW and All Japan and New Japan. And I wanted to make that a mix of me. You had other guys who wanted to I know the generation before me, like Homicide, Reckless Youth. And so many, and Low Key, and so many others wanted to mix the junior style that they saw from New Japan. Then you had Bryan Danielson mixing the British style before it became a hip, cool thing for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then my generation was like, we're going to take all of it and we're going to test it out and see what happens. Thank God a lot of us are still here. You know what I mean? Thank God.
No, that's incredible. And look, before we get out of here, we got 2 minutes. So I'm going to ask you this question that may not be fair. If you don't want to answer it, you can tell me to fuck off. CM Punk finally spoke for the first time.
I knew it. I knew that was going to be it. I knew it.
I have to ask. I'm not doing my job.
Go ahead. I feel you.
Obviously,
if you didn't ask, I would be like, my man, you're dropping the ball here. No, seriously, that's what it is. You know what I'm more concerned about? I'm not going to front. Are the people who lost their jobs. Honestly, that's what I'm more worried about. You know what I mean? I'm more worried about Dasha, and I'm more worried about, Anthony Henry and Stu Grayson and others I'm sorry if I didn't mention your names, no disrespect, but I'm worried about them. You know what I mean? My heart goes out to them because I know how it feels to lose a job. You know what I mean? Not just, a job. Either way you look at this, wrestling or not, it's still a job. And that's how you feed yourself and your family. You know what I mean? My heart goes out to them. That's what I'm more concerned about than what Phil said. Because the people who got let go did work for us. And now they have to find another way to make ends meet. And that's what concerns me more. Whether I knew them, because some I knew very well, some I didn't. My heart goes out to them. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. What I am saying, it's the business. People get hired and fired daily. It's just part of it. But still, it doesn't mean it doesn't leave me heartbroken that some of the people like Dasha that I won't see every week, who I loved seeing every week, who put like a smile on my face every week I saw. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm more concerned about. And that's what, I care. I care about that more. That's it.
So... made some comments about Tony being a nice guy, not necessarily being a boss.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to work. They want to come in once a week. It's not a business. And obviously there was a lot there. And I'm sure you've seen the tweets or anything. So I don't have Twitter, so I didn't see the tweets.
I had people text me and tell me what was up.
So that's if I could paraphrase, those are some of the things. It's not a real business. Guys don't want to work. They want to go in there once a week and not do anything.
Yeah.
Wasn't about making money. So your response would be,
and he don't work for us. I don't give a fuck. There he is. Honestly, he don't work for AEW. So I don't care. That's it. I'm not even mad. If it sounds like I'm mad, it's just the way I talk. But no, I don't care. I don't. I know other people do, but I really don't give a fuck because he doesn't work for AEW. That's the way I look at it. If he worked for AEW and did that, then I might feel a certain way for a little bit, and then I would just let it go and go, well, that's Phil being Phil. Can't control him. That's his thing. He ain't me, and I ain't him. So, but he doesn't. So I don't care what he does.
I feel like I'm ending this interview on a bad note. I apologize.
No. You ready to check it out?
I need a zinger. You know what? We'll do this. We'll close out with a fun question really quick. And John, I'm sorry, I know we're over time. Yo, what type of R&B does Eddie Kingston listen to?
Man. All right, so I love Al Green, but like only 3 or 4 songs, so I can't say I'm a big, you know what I mean? Because someone would be like, oh yeah, you love Al Green? How about this? And I'd be like,
name me an album.
Yeah, I'd be like, my man, all I know is like 3 or 4 songs, and they're great, and I love them. Marvin Gaye, same thing, love them. But I remember growing up, it was like SWV, you know what I mean? Was really, getting weak in the knees and shit, you know what I mean? Like, they don't know about that jam, you know? Whoa. And Mary J being from Yonkers, you know what I mean? I want that real love, you know? Don't make me start singing, bro. I'll start singing, man. R&B was, in the 90s was the shit, you know? A lot of babies were made to those songs.
Def Campbell, no? Yes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. What was it, Tony Braxton? Unbreak My Heart? Come on, dog. Come on. Don't tell me you don't hear that and get in your feelings a little bit and be like, yeah, that one girl. She got me on that one. Yeah. She walked out that door and out of my life, man. I felt it.
Before Double or Nothing, me and Eddie are going to a residency and we'll do the interview there. How about that?
Yeah. I'm all about it. Let's get Tony Braxton on it.
Yo,
and I want to be like, who made you sing that song? Because that hurt me. That still hurts me to this day.
A fighter and a lover, Eddie Kingston versus Mark Briscoe this Friday for the Ring of Honor World Title. Supercard of Honor. Go check it out on Honor Club. All my people listening and watching in Vegas. Tickets for Double or Nothing, Memorial Day weekend, and Collision back-to-back at the MGM Grand Garden. Get your tickets at AEWTix.com. Yo, Eddie, as always, thank you, brother.
Thank you, man. I always have a blast. You know that. I love it.